Welcome back, warrior. Okay, so today is Finn's birthday. Happy birthday, Finn. Can you believe that? Miracle baby. So many years ago, he was our first one. And I always say we had one every decade of my life. Miracle babies are the best, right? Anyways, happy birthday, Finn. If you're watching this ever in your future, I hope you have the best year ever. And I'm so blessed to be your mom. Okay. Let's see. Moses, even though he's right there. Can you see him? He's playing his video games, of course. Which I'll have to tell you later, secretly, why I do this, even though he's doing that. Okay, so Genesis, we read Genesis 1 and 2 now. We're going to be reading Moses 2 and 3. And as we study these pages, we're going to see how similar they are to Genesis 1 and 2. Okay, hold on. I just realized I need to put my weights on. Here we go. Maybe that's what we'll get for my birthday. So weighted vest. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Here we go. Moses chapter 2. Oh, but you know what? We got to find Moses. Oh, yeah, we're in Moses. Perfect. Okay, let me write something first. Okay, little sister's trying to write a note to her brother, but she does not read and write all the way yet. So she needs a little bit of guidance and help. Just like the rest of us, huh? Okay, so Moses chapter 2. Yes. God creates the heavens and the earth. All forms of life are created. God makes man and gives him dominion over all else. Okay. And it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Behold, I reveal unto you concerning this heaven and this earth. Write the words which I speak. I am beginning and the end. The Almighty God, by mine only begotten I created these things. Yea, in the beginning I created the heaven and the earth. Okay, so the creation account of Genesis 1 begins with what is recorded in Moses 2:2. So we haven't even gotten to Moses 2:2 yet, so we'll get that. But verse 1 in Moses 2, restored by Joseph Smith, explains how Moses received the creation story and was commanded by the Lord to write it down. What are some things that we feel we need to write down, commanded to write down, and yet we don't, right? I know. Like, I need to start a gratitude journal. I want to start journaling even more because I have this video journal. I was going to say vajournal. That does not sound good. It's different than a blog. Vlog, right? You do not want to say vajournal. It sounds really bad. So anyway, let's try to find a better word for that. That will motivate us to want to write. I do love writing letters to God. I think that is amazing. I think that's a great way to journal maybe some of the things that you have. I do love social media for that purpose, where you can document what's going on in your life. But it's kind of like I need something in between, like journals or like what do I call that? Between letters to God and just like posting on social media what has happened in our lives, which I don't do, by the way. So I'm supposed to be catching up so many years already. And I'm so inundated. Maybe after the kids move out, then I'll have time to post and take my time posting. But who knows? Then I'll be a grandma and have other things I want to do. Anyway, so yeah, I need something like kind of in between. Like I want to get that connection with the letters to God level, but I want to be documenting things like social media kind of inspires you to do, right? Where it's like, look at all the fun, awesome stuff we did. So on this year or whatever, right? Anyways, so because of that command, billions of people throughout history have been able to learn about the origin and purpose of the earth that we live on. Isn't that fantastic? Imagine if the Lord didn't tell people to write things down. Like, we would have literally nothing. I remember even in the Book of Mormon too, when Christ comes to the Nephites and he's like, so remember when, I said these things? And they're like, yes. And he's like, did you write it down? And they're like, no. So anyways, it's like one of those things that's like, it's a good thing to write things down that are happening in your life, but also the spiritual things, because those matter most, right? Okay, but we got to keep moving on this because I need to go do a balloon arch. So cannot spend too much time on just verse 1. But anyway, so another restored truth we learned in Moses 2:1 is that God created the earth through Jesus Christ. Don't you just love that? So he says, I created these things, yea, in the beginning I created the heaven and the earth, right? And then he says that, behold, I reveal unto you concerning this heaven and this earth, write the words which I speak on the beginning. Okay, yes. And in verse 2, he says, and the earth was without form and void, and I caused darkness to come up upon the face of the deep, and my spirit is moved upon the face of the water, for I am God. Okay, wait, how come it doesn't say what I said? Oh, that's weird. I saw it earlier. Anyways, but it's in there. I just can't find it specifically. Okay. Here we go. So verse 2 says, and the earth was without form and void, and I caused darkness to come up upon the face of the deep, and my spirit moved upon the face of the water, for I am God. Actually, I think what they meant was that in Moses 1, the last verse, I think, is what it says, that where it says that God created things through Jesus Christ. So anyway, or maybe we'll see it later. Okay. Verse 3, and I, God, said, let there be light, and there was light. And I, God, saw the light, and that light was good. And I, God, divided the light from the darkness. And I, God, called the light day, and the darkness I called night. And this I did by the word of my power, and it was done as I spake. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And again, I, God, said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, and it was so, even as I spake. And I said, let it divide the waters from the waters, and it was done. And I, God, made the firmament and divided the waters, yea, the great waters under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so, even as I spake. And I, God, called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Okay, so something I love that I didn't really know until the Don't Miss This podcast people, Grace and David, mentioned it. But water in olden days was like so reverenced because of its power. And like you couldn't move water. Like water is not something that is an easy resource to, like, I don't know what to say, like to manage, I guess. And so, and obviously still is, but now we have a lot more tech and things that we can manage to kind of put dams in place and things like that. So we can almost work water the way we need it to. And we harness the water's power by creating, like, it generates energy for us and things. Anyway, but so the fact that, but like water in and of itself is like so chaotic, and it's so massive, and so, like, you know, if you're in a boat, it can literally toss you to and fro, and like just water is just so powerful. And the fact that water is something that the Lord is able to control and command, it just shows you that if he can do that with the chaos that water is, and the strength that has, and if he can do that, and if he can put it in its bounds, like, and he can, like, it's just like, of course he can do that for us in our lives, right? He can organize the chaos in our lives and make it holy for us and make it good for us. And he can work those things for our good and work the chaos that we feel in our lives for good in our lives. And so I love that. I did not say it as good as they did. I definitely suggest you go look it up, because then you'll be even more enlightened. I think it was my favorite episode out of all of the ones I've listened to. So anyway, really good stuff. Although I did want to hear a little bit more from Grace. But anyway, so once light and darkness were divided, the next step was to separate the firmament. Each creative period was built upon the last, showing that creation was carried out with order and purpose. Also, I love that the Lord planned out 7 days in advance what was going to happen with all the supplies. Like if you know how to make crafts, like, and you've been to like a station, like let's say you're a teacher, right? You set out little stations for your kids. I know Finn and Faust, they've had like little centers, right, where they have to make sure that everything is in the center so that you can use it to do whatever it is the project that's going to be done in that center is. And so like you set these things up for your students, for your kids, and then a project gets created using those materials. Anyway, the fact that the Lord created or had a plan for 7 days and then carried out each day, and it was organized in a way that he was even able to rest on the 7th day, like, just kind of blows my mind. And the fact that like I don't even, like, I'm just like so blown away that, you know what I mean, like I just don't even comprehend that kind of organization in my ADHD brain. Like I don't even, like, it's just one of those things that's like mind blowing. And I can barely organize my day, my next day, let alone like 7 days, and provide supplies for each one of those days and have them ready, right? Like the meal prepping for me is out the window. Like I can prep. I did a couple workshops where we had it at my house, and then I did it, but it was a 30 meals in one day kind of thing. And I prepped everything for 30 days, for 30 dinners in one day. It was awesome, and I love the preparation and everything and how many dinners I was able to get. But it was chaos when that was happening. And like you had to know where things were. You had to put garbages at like every little turn. There was like so many supplies that I would need in order to accomplish this. And that's like what it would take to create massive earth, you know, with all the division and the things that you'd have to create. And he obviously knows science in a way that I do not. And physics and all the things. And so anyway, God organized the earth's atmosphere, sky, and clouds apart from the waters on the earth. Like that just seems really wild. Notice that while there was water above in the sky, there was still more left upon the earth, which Moses called the great waters, right? And so like God is organizing all this, and it's just like this, probably like this beautiful chaos. Like I wish I could remember witnessing it. I feel like my soul is trying to witness to me how magnificent it was to witness it. But I don't remember it myself firsthand the way that I remember eating a piece of chocolate, you know, like. And so I think that that's going to be something that I look forward to in the next life, to be able to remember a lot of the things that I can't remember, but that my soul was trying to witness to my body and to me, to help me remember, like you were, like I was there, you know. And I know the Spirit is trying to confirm it to me also, and trying to confirm, like, you were there, Linda, and you did think it was magnificent. But I wish that I could remember it, you know. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. Okay. Verse 9, and I, God, said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and it was so. And I, God, said, let there be dry land, and it was so. And I, God, called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called I the sea. And I, God, saw that all things which I had made were good. And I, God, said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed should be in itself upon the earth. And it was so, even as I spake. I love that. Verse 12, and the earth brought forth grass, every herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed should be in itself after his kind. And I, God, saw that all things which I had made were good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. Okay, so don't miss this. Also talked about how the third day, when you start on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, is double good day, is the double good day, because he called the third day good twice. And I'm like, how neat is that? Like, to think that the third day was just good 2 times, right? Maybe it was that much hard work. And maybe that's why Temple Tuesday is so special, because we make it doubly good, triply good if you go to the temple. Okay, and verse 14, and I, God, said, let there be the lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Okay, verse 14. No, wait, I already read that one. Just kidding. Nope, just kidding. I did not read that. I read 13. Okay, and I, God, said, let there be the lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day. Oh yeah, I was reading that. From the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And I, God, made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. And the greater light was the sun, and the lesser light was the moon, and the stars also were made, even according to my word. And I, God, set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and the sun to rule over the day, and the moon to rule over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And I, God, saw that all things which I had made were good, and the evening and the morning were the 4th day. Did you hear that? This part I love. Says that God created these lights, okay? And I, God, set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. So when you look at stars, we look at them with awe, but the stars were made to gaze upon us. He set them there because he loves us. And so that when we look up, we can be reminded that he provided those for us. And we think of such magnificent works when we think of space and the universe and stars. And I love Faust and his question. And he said, did Jesus create all the worlds? And I love that in Moses 1, he tells Moses that he created everything, that worlds without number he has created. And I didn't answer the question for Faust right away because I was like, well, I want him to discover it and find it himself and think it's so cool. But I'm trying to figure out, like, he has not read it himself yet. So I'm like, okay, we have to guide him into this. Like, let's just read it, will you? You know? But I think he's going to think it's so cool when he does. But he set the stars and the moon and the sun in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. So for us, to give us light. Love it. Okay, verse 20. And I, God, said, let the waters bring forth abundantly. Hold on, wait. Yeah. Abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl which may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And I, God, created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And I, God, saw that all things which I had created were good. So then life says, on this fifth day, says, then life came into the air and the waters as fowl, whale, and other ocean creatures were created. And again, the variety created in this period is beyond our comprehension, not only in number, but in their specific and beautiful details. Experts have discovered 226,000 marine species, but some scientists estimate that 91% of species are yet to be discovered. God's creations upon the earth are truly vast and intricately special. Each has its own purpose. This earth was prepared for us in magnificent ways. And if he spent that much time on the creatures that are for us, how much time did he spend on us for us? Right? Verse 22, and I, God, blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the sea and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Wow, I didn't think I would get emotional. Oh. And I, God, said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after their kind. And it was so. And I, God, made the beasts of the earth after their kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything which creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And I, God, saw that all these things were good. And I, God, said unto mine only begotten, which was with me from the beginning, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And it was so. And I, God, said, let them have dominion over the fishes of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And I, God, created man in mine own image. In the image of mine only begotten created I him. Male and female created I them. Verse 28. Hold on, wait. Let me read this. It says, what does it mean to be created in God's image? Brigham Young and Joseph Smith taught this. Man is made in the image of his maker, and that he is his exact image, having eye for eye, forehead for forehead, eyebrows for eyebrows, nose for nose, cheekbones for cheekbones, mouth for mouth, chin for chin, ears for ears, precisely like our Father in heaven. And then, end quote, Brigham Young. And then Joseph F. Smith said this. It is not feasible to believe that female spirits were created in the image of... Wait. It's a question. Hold on. Let's start over. Joseph F. Smith had this question, and he says, is it not feasible to believe that female spirits were created in the image of a mother in heaven? Ooh, I love that. Answers to Gospel Questions, Volume 3, Joseph Fielding Smith. Okay, and then verse 28, and I, God, blessed them, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And I, God, said unto man, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which shall be the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein I grant life, there shall be given every clean herb for meat. And it was so, even as I spake. And I, God, saw everything that I had made, and behold, all things which I had made were very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. I feel like that sixth day was packed with like a little extra, you know what I'm saying? The Family Proclamation states this. The first commandment that God gave Adam and Eve pertained to their potential for parenthood as husband and wife. We declare that God's commandment for his children to multiply and replenish the earth remains in force, end quote. The Family Proclamation to the world. I am going to be giving a lesson about family. And if you have any tips on how to teach this lesson, that would be great. Or what kind of discussion questions we could have, because honestly, I'm already getting nervous about it. And it's not for like a couple weeks. But anyway. Okay. I'm going to read Read It, Live It. Nope, I'm not going to read Read It, Live It because it is upstairs. Dang it. Hate it when that happens. Actually, I'll just go back and bring it because honestly, I do love it. Okay, so we have this page here. Did you know that the Hebrew word for create, or bara, is uniquely used for divine creation, indicating something only God can do? I did not know that. The word Genesis means the beginning. The book was most likely authored by Moses. The Hebrew word for Sabbath is Sabbat, can be translated as to cease, to rest, to stop. I love that. There's a symbol. The number 7 was a symbol that represented fullness or completion. Nice. Deliverance from darkness to light, from chaos to creation. I do love that. Okay, there's some promises. They have this section called Promises to Covenant Israel. Is actually really cool. So let me read that really quick. It says, I will watch over you. I will bless you. I will make you in my image. I will give you everything on the earth. Ooh, that one's good. I will see the good in you. I will complete you. I will give you a Sabbath, or a rest. Those are some good affirmations, right? I love that the promises are feel like affirmations. Okay. Here's a teaching principle that we could apply into our lives, is that God sees the good in every step of our progression. He sure does. So how can we call this day good? Oh, I love that. How can we call this day good? I made that one up. It's not in the book. But what would make that so for you for this day? Okay, until Moses chapter 3, stay strong, warrior. Wow, I'm gonna have to read three chapters tomorrow if I wanna catch up, if I wanna stay on task.